and welcome to Nagaland TV. This is Gargi Deka and you are with me watching the English Primetime News. Here are the top headlines. Rising People's Party condemns Nagaland government's notification to withhold salaries of unvaccinated employees. Massive uproar on the first day of Parliament Monsoon Session. Both the houses of the Parliament were adjourned till 2 p.m. following protests by the opposition parties. Congress appoints cricketer turned politician Navjot Singh Sidhu as the next president of the Punjab Congress. Nepal's new Prime Minister, Sher Bahadur Deuba, wins the vote of confidence in the Houses of Representatives. Phones of Indian politicians, journalists hacked using Pegasus. Garoland State Movement Committee strongly condemns Meghalaya Chief Minister Congrad Sangma for downplaying the need for the creation of separate states for Garos and Khasi Jaintias. And now the news in details. The newly formed Rising People's Party has condemned the Nagaland government's notification to withhold salaries of unvaccinated employees or if a COVID-negative report was not produced every 15 days. RPP, in a statement issued by its President Joel Naga and General Secretary Amai Chinko, described the notification as a cowardly attitude. Both the RPP leaders have appealed to the State Chief Secretary to cancel the notification with immediate effect. Going on to the next story, the 10 Students Union Dimapur has expressed concern over the Nagaland government's decision to reopen schools and colleges in offline mode. The union stated that opening up classes would pose a grave threat to the society as a whole. It said it will be practically impossible to maintain COVID-appropriate behavior in a classroom. The union further pointed out that resumption of classes would have to be followed up with lifting of all restriction on vehicular movements and other activities. It said that this could open up floodgates of the virus, which would be disastrous, as both teachers and students are now familiar with online classes despite many difficulties. The union observed that online classes are the best option for now and in the interest of the people. The Assam government today issued a fresh SOP in which Health Minister Keshav Mahanta said that containment status in 5 districts will continue to remain in force until further notice. These districts will continue to have a round-the-clock curfew imposed. Curfew has been partially relaxed in Gwalpara and Morigao district of Assam for showing moderate improvement in positivity rate of COVID-19. These districts will be under curfew from 1 p.m. to 5 a.m. next morning. Shops will remain open till 12 p.m. in these districts. The rest of the districts will have curfew from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m., while shops will remain open till 4 p.m. There will be a total ban on the movement of all public and private transport in the containment districts. However, the movement of goods shall continue. All inter-district passenger transport and movement of people to and from other districts shall remain suspended. Moving on, for the invaluable service of the Nagaland-born physician during darkest days of the pandemic. The state of New Mexico declared 19 July as Dr. Jonathan Iralu Day. Throughout Mexico, Dr. Iralu is an instructor at Harvard Medical School and also serves as a senior physician at Brigham and Women's Hospital Division at Global Equity in Boston. This news comes as about a pride moment for India. The Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio also tweeted and expressed this joy about the honor that has been confiscated to Dr. Iralu. On to the next news. Supreme Court on Monday ordered the release of Manipur-based activist Irendro Likombam, who had been detained under the National Security Act over a controversial Facebook post. The Apex Court ordered that the activist must be released by 5 p.m. on Monday. The controversial Facebook post said that cow dung and not cow urine cannot cure COVID. The SC ordering his immediate release said that Irendro's continued detention was violation of Article 21 of the Constitution. An FIR lodged by Manipur State BJP President Usham Deban and General Secretary P. Premanandan Mate, the order of the court came in response to a plea filed by the activist's father. Another Manipur journalist, Kishore Chandra Wankam, was also arrested for posting the same. On to the next news. After days of speculation, the Congress on Sunday appointed cricketer turned politician Navjot Singh Sidhu as the next president of the Punjab Congress. Former Amritsar MP and sitting MLA from Amritsar East, Navjot Sidhu replaces Sunil Jhakar. The decision comes after ignoring persistent opposition from CM Captain Amarinder Singh and of leaders close to him. The party also named 4 working presidents. They are Urmar MLA Sangat Singh, Gilzian Jandilal, legislator Sukhwinder Singh Dani, Fatehgiri Sahib MLA Kuljit Singh Nagra and Pawan Goel from Jaito in Faridkot. The Garoland State Movement Committee strongly condemned Chief Minister Conrad Sangma for downplaying the need for the creation of separate states for Garos and Khasi Jaintias, claiming that the irresponsible statement shattered the dreams of his late father, who during his time had advocated for the idea. Earlier on Friday, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma, while reacting to GSMC and HSPDP joining hands to pursue the demand, had said that his government was not keen on the option for separate states for Garos and Khasi Jaintias and that it was unnecessary. Reacting to the statement, GSMC co-chairman Balkarn C.H. Marak reminded that the late P.A. Sangma had repeatedly spoken in favor of separate state movement, and it was due to this that the public had reposed faith in his leadership. India recorded 38,164 fresh COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours, taking the total tally to 3,11,44,229, while the death count increased to 4,14,108 with 499 new fatalities. Also, 40,63,593 tests were conducted on Sunday, taking the total cumulative tests conducted so far for detection of COVID-19 in the country to 44,54,22,256, while the daily positivity rate now stands at 2.61, less than 3% for 28 consecutive days, and weekly positivity rate remains below 5%, currently at 2.08%. Moving on, Reserve Bank of India has recently allowed banks to increase charges on ATMs to Rs 21 per transaction. The lenders can levy charges on customers within the limit once they exhaust their free ATM withdrawals. The revised rates will be effective from January 1st, 2022. Customers will be eligible for 5 free transactions every month from their own bank ATMs. This includes both financial and non-financial transactions. Beyond the limit, they have to pay an extra amount of Rs 20 for each ATM transaction, while customers using other bank ATMs for cash withdrawal are allowed 3 free ATM transactions in metro cities and 5 in non-metro centers. Going on to the next news, as the world struggles with the devastating COVID-19 pandemic, a new infection has been reported in China. Monkey bee virus claimed its first victim in the country after a veterinary surgeon contacted the virus while dissecting 2 animals. A Beijing-based veterinarian surgeon was infected with the virus after he dissected 2 dead monkeys in early March. The 53-year-old veterinarian started experiencing nausea and vomiting after a month later. Fever and neurological symptoms followed. He visited several hospitals but eventually died on May 27. The case was first reported in March of this year but was revealed in the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention briefing last week. Going on to the next story, a day after 33 people were killed in house collapses, rail and road traffic was hit and drinking water supply affected after unprecedented rainfall. The IMD has issued alert for intense rain after clouds hovered around parts of Thane, Raigarh and Mumbai suburbs. In the Mahol area of the suburban Chembur, 19 people died when a compound wall came crashing down on some houses located in a hillock following a landslide. BMC said on Sunday night that the flooding affected electrical equipment that control the pumping and filtration process there, one of the major sites of water supply to the country's financial capital. Following which, BMC also asked citizens to boil water before drinking. Suburban train services in Mumbai were suspended due to waterlogging on the tracks due to overnight heavy downpour. Railway officials said that adding the services were resumed in the morning. Railway officials also said that suburban train services in Mumbai were suspended due to waterlogging on the tracks. While the monsoon session of Parliament witnessed massive protests from opposition on the very first day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi urged all parties to raise their issues in such a way that can lead to a healthy discussion during the ongoing session. He further lauded the Jap citizens of the country by calling them Bahubalis as they showed courage and took the shot on their Bahus, meaning arm. The PM used the term Bahubali in reference to those vaccinated people.
और जब वैक्सीन बाहु पर लगती है तो आप बाहुबली बन जाते हैं।
On the first day of the monsoon session of the Parliament, Prime Minister Narendra Modi encouraged people for vaccination and said that when you take vaccine in your Bahu, which means arms, you become a Bahubali.
अब ये वैक्सीन जो है बाहु पर लगती है और जब वैक्सीन बाहु पर लगती है तो आप बाहुबली बन जाते हैं और कोरोना के खिलाफ लड़ने के लिए बाहुबली बनने का एक ही उपाय है कि आपके बाहु पर वैक्सीन लगवा दीजिए।
Talking about the Parliament's monsoon session, Modi said that the centre wants a disciplined and a constructive discussion in the Parliament over the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. He further went on to urge all the MPs and all the parties to ask the most difficult and sharpest question in the House, but should also allow the government to respond in a disciplined environment.
और इसलिए हम चाहते हैं कि संसद में भी इस पैंडेमिक के संबंध में सार्थक चर्चा हो, सबसे प्राथमिकता देते हुए इसकी चर्चा हो और सारे व्यवहारू सुझाव सभी माननीय सांसदों से मिले ताकि पैंडेमिक के खिलाफ लड़ाई में बहुत नयापन भी आ सकता है, कुछ कमियां रह गई हो तो उसको भी ठीक किया जा सकता है और इस लड़ाई में सब साथ मिलकर के आगे बढ़ सकते हैं।
Meanwhile, the Lok Sabha proceedings began after ruckus by the opposition parties. National Desk, Nagaland TV.
Moving on, the whole nation on Sunday was jolted as an Israel-made spyware named Pegasus was found spying on high-profile individuals from India. A report on Sunday revealed that Israel-made spyware had purportedly used.
A spyware known as Pegasus is in the news at the moment. It is a spyware developed by an Israeli company, NSO Group, and the way it works makes it almost impossible for a victim to know that they have been hacked. On Sunday evening, a number of prominent news websites, including The Guardian and The Washington Post, published details of what they called global surveillance operations using Pegasus. The surveillance reportedly targets journalists, including over 40 journalists in India, activists and other key public figures. The reports say that over 10 governments, including India, are involved in surveillance of people using Pegasus spyware. As the story of Pegasus surfaces, the conversation around privacy has surfaced with it. And there is another important aspect to it, that of national security. And with that, the opposition leaders hit out at the center over the Pegasus snooping report in the monsoon session of Parliament, which began today. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi was among the first leaders to take a dig at Prime Minister Narendra Modi over the report. And what is hard-hitting, considering the chaos created by this spyware, is that cybersecurity experts have indicated that a device infected by Pegasus might never be able to recover from it completely. Traces of the spyware might still be found even after a hard factory reset of the device. National Desk, Nagaland TV.
Moving on, Nepal's new Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba on Sunday won the vote of confidence in the House of Representatives, ensuring continuity of the two dissolved lower houses of Parliament for the remaining duration. Sher Bahadur Deuba, the 70-year-old chief of the Nepali Congress, who was appointed as the Prime Minister as per the Article 76(5) of the Constitution of July 12th, following Supreme Court's intervention, 165 votes in the 275-member House on Sunday. A total of 136 votes were required for Deuba to win Parliament's confidence, whereas as many as 249 lawmakers participated in the voting process and 83 of them voted against Deuba, while one lawmaker remained neutral. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also congratulated Deuba on his success and said that he is looking forward to working with him to further enhance their unique partnership in all sectors. Afghanistan on Sunday announced recall of its ambassador and senior diplomats in Pakistan in the wake of kidnapping and assault of an envoy's daughter in Islamabad, adding to the strains in the bilateral ties over Pakistan's perceived support to cross-border terrorism. Pakistan's Foreign Office said that the reported abduction and assault of the 26-year-old daughter of Afghanistan's ambassador to Pakistan, Najibullah Ali Khil, is being investigated and followed up at the highest level on the instructions of Prime Minister Imran Khan. The security of the ambassador, his family and personnel of the embassy and consulates of Afghanistan in Pakistan has been beefed up. Pakistan's Foreign Secretary met the Afghan envoy on Sunday and highlighted the steps taken up by the government for the security of the diplomats and reassured him of full cooperation. The Enforcement Directorate on Sunday set out 2 teams in search of former Maharashtra Cabinet Minister Anil Deshmukh in Katol town, located about 60 km from Nagpur, and his ancestral home at Vadivihara village near Katol, which is likely to be hideouts of the senior NCP leader. Deshmukh has skipped 3 summons issued by the agency in the last couple of weeks and has been untraceable since then. Deshmukh is accused by the ED of influencing extortion racket involving senior police officers of the Mumbai crime branch while he is holding the office of the State Home Minister. Earlier, Deshmukh was forced to resign after Bombay High Court ordered a CBI inquiry against him on a petition of former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh, alleging he had given targets to senior cops to extort rupees 1,000 crore from dance bars in Mumbai. Moving on, Indian photojournalist Danish Siddiqui, who was killed in clashes between Afghanistan and Kandahar, was laid to rest on Sunday at the Jamia Millia Islamia graveyard in New Delhi. Although the Jamia's graveyard is exclusively meant for university employees, their spouses and minor children, the Vice-Chancellor of the university has made an exception for the Pulitzer Prize-winning photojournalist. Flight carrying mortals remain of Danish Siddiqui reached Delhi airport on Sunday evening, from where it was taken to his residence in Jamia Nagar. A huge crowd, including his family and friends, had gathered outside his residence. That is all for now. Keep watching Nagaland TV for more news and updates.